Warning. This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
What's going on, man? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster, and this is Viewers Anonymous, man. How you feeling, my guy?
Man, feeling good, feeling great, brother. I ain't got no complaints, man. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying my day. It's a little bit warmer. It was 34 degrees today. You know what I'm saying? I felt like wearing some shorts outside, man.
Hey, yo, fuck that shit, yo. Hey, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Like, hey, that's what it was when I left the house this morning, man. But it got up to about 55 today, man. So, man, that spring is. Hey, the crazy part is they're calling that it's supposed to be like 70 degrees tomorrow down here.
Yeah,
that's crazy as hell, dude.
We're supposed to be up into like the 30s, 40s all week. I think it's like a couple chances of rain, but I'd take that over some snow and some cold weather.
Shit, man, that ain't okay. That's good news, dude. I'm like, hey man, listen. I'm talking about 70 degrees, but
no, listen, yeah, you further south. What I'm saying is 30 degrees up here feel like 40, 50 easy after you done had, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of snow and cold gust of winds and all that. Trust me, you'll take 30, 40 any day.
Hey, boy,
that sun was beaming outside today. Boy, it felt good outside today, like a spring day.
Man, get that the fuck out of here, bud.
I'm telling you,
days,
man,
I'm looking for.
It was like a spring day outside. The sun was beaming. Boy, it felt good outside, man.
Man, this guy, man, shit. I'm happy as hell about it was about 55 today. You talking about, oh man, it's great, man. It's 34 degrees, man. What you talking about?
Listen, it was just 10 degrees the week before.
Shit. Hey, but I'm so glad I'm not up north, but I'm telling you, but hey, it takes time to get used to that type of shit, man.
Nah, not when you've been born in it, man. This ain't nothing.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. If you ain't from it, it takes time.
Yeah.
Listen, man, when I was in West Virginia, man, they used to laugh at the boy. They have on jeans with sweatpants up under them. But I was like, man, fuck them. I'm not freezing my ass off up here. Well, y'all joke all you want, man.
We used to dress like that to go sledding.
Man, look, I was dressing like that to go to class. What you talking about? Man, that's funny. That's funny.
Though, man?
I'm holding, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, surviving out here in these streets, man. Like always, putting in content, taking out content. You know what I'm saying? I was wondering how we were gonna get this episode in because we had to reschedule the last two with the guy Jamar, man. With him working with that, I think it's called, is it Heat Radio or something like that?
Yeah, he's a busy man.
Yeah, man, a new story came up today, man. Tiger Woods got into an accident, so he had to go in and do his job. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, we just out here. Like he
on call.
So like when duty calls, you know what I'm saying, you got what to do.
Yeah, I think it's dope that they throw him into the fire that quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Usually you gotta wait to get your chance, man. But it's good to see him, getting in those early moments.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And like I told him, I was like, man, do your job, man. Like I ain't, saying, we ain't stressing. Cause I'm saying this is the day we normally do this anyway. So I was just like, when he canceled, I was like, boom, we're just go ahead and get this in. So you know what I'm saying? It worked out. But I'm holding up all right, man. How about yourself?
Man, listen, like I said, I ain't got no complaints, man. I'm just moving day by day, bro.
Yes, sir, man. That's all we can do, man. That's all we can do.
Oh,
yes, sir, man.
Yeah, I take that though. I'm super happy today, man. I ordered me some new work boots. So you know what I'm saying? I'm excited about that.
Hey, boy, you can tell. Hey, boy, you can tell what we had in life, but it's like, hey, you get. Hey, boy, when work boots
Yeah,
become like the
yeah.
thing,
Man, listen.
hey, that is funny, boy. That is
When you
so funny.
if anybody know, you know, boy, when you on your feet all day, man, them new work boots be feeling like clouds and pillows, man.
Hey, boy, I'm telling you, man. I had bought, man. Let me tell you what my dumb ass did, man. I had bought some. I gave Puma one more chance, man. I was like, man, I
Mm-hmm.
seen these Pumas. They were for pretty cheap. I was like, man, let me get these Pumas real quick. Why I made a mistake? Well, I was like,
Mm.
man, I bought these Pumas. I was like, man, I can't do it, man. You got to put me back in some Nikes, man, or some
You
Adidas
gotta get you
boots or
some.
something.
You gotta get you some New Balances, man.
Man, I used to wear some New Balances, man. But like the thing is, with like ever since I messed up my Achilles,
Oh
I
yeah.
really need something. You know what I'm saying? Mid, at least mid, man. So that don't really, because I need the most supporters that I can get. And
Mm-hmm.
like those Pumas, man, they don't give me no support, man.
Right.
So yes, I know how valuable some damn shoes is when it comes to work. I'm telling you,
That's a
especially
fact.
especially when you jack up your Achilles. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
can
a
feel
fact.
your excitement, man. I can feel your excitement. I ain't mad at you.
I can't.
I
I
was just
can't wait to
saying,
put them on tomorrow.
nah, I was just, I was just saying, like, like shit. Like when you young, you looking forward to like, oh man, this new game about to come out, or this new
Oh
J's about to come
yeah,
out. Hey,
yeah.
but it's like now you a working man. You like, boy, I got
Hey,
some new work boots.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. When you a working dad, bro. Hey man, them boots, boy. You be look. I got them sitting right by the door and everything. I don't walk past them 3 times. Like, boy, I can't wait, boy.
Oh man, hey
I
boy, you was
don't.
a fucking fool, boy.
Hey, I don't walk past them like they was new J's, boy. I'm like, boy, I'm gonna kill them tomorrow. They're gonna be like, it's gonna be a wrap. It's gonna be a wrap. Oh man.
Oh man, you stupid as fuck, boy. Oh man. Hey, but that just like that last pod we did, man. Like,
Yeah,
yo, man, y'all got to, man. After this, y'all gotta check out, man, that 28 minutes or less we did, man. That
for
shit was
sure,
dope as
man.
fuck,
For sure.
man. Episode 36, my guy Scoots jumped on and we
Mm-hmm.
fucking murdered that shit, man. Like the first half we took it a little serious, but then boy, once we got to that second half of the podcast, boy, we just started
Oh
cutting up.
man. Well, it was nonstop laughter, man. We had a good time, man. It's you know what I'm saying. Them the pods I love to do, man. When you could just kick back and just talk, man.
Oh hell yeah, man. That shit was hilarious, boy. This dude right here, but you got some stories. And I feel like it's a whole lot more, but like
Oh
that's
man.
one. Hey, that's one of those ones, man. That's like this. That series got to continue, man.
Yeah.
That's like a damn what they call that shit. I mean, I guess you could call it a series. That's a series. We just gonna have to keep it going, boy. 'Cause that
Oh
shit was
yeah.
fucking hilarious. But I had so much
Man,
fun doing
listen,
that.
I got all kind of stories, man. From I think from about like the age of like 14 to like 20, man. I was in all kind of shit,
Man, that is
man.
wild, boy. That shit was so fun, man. I hope people enjoy that, man.
Yeah.
Casey had hit me, and I knew he was listening to it because he had sent me like the closest drive-in is
Mm-hmm.
damn where he said it was. It was somewhere in North Carolina,
Oh,
and
okay.
so that remember
Damn.
I told you I was like, man, it ain't no drive-ins around here. So he
Damn.
sent me the thing where this drive-in movie is. And I was like, oh, so you listen to that pod? He was like, yo, boy. He was like, I've been nonstop laughing, but he was like, man, this shit is hilarious, but
Hey
so like,
man, yeah, y'all need them down there ASAP, man. If you could find you a way to get a loan and open up a drive through, you're gonna be a millionaire, man.
yeah, man, you get the land because the thing is, we got the weather down here. That's the crazy part.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like, man, I mean, sometimes, man, we can have 60-degree nights, man. Like in the
Yeah.
summer,
Yeah.
like it's wild. Like sometimes I remember um looking at the weather. And like, dude, it's like sometimes
Mhm.
we can have like a 70-degree night, my guy. Like, I mean, you know
Yeah.
how nice that is to be able to go to a
Man, that's hey,
drive-in.
I'm telling you, that's perfect. That's perfect. You get
Yeah,
you a couple chairs, man, and sit them bad boys in front of the car, man. As long as you ain't got like no mosquitoes or nothing tearing your ass up, you good.
Oh well, we got mosquitoes now. You better bring that off if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, yeah, I
For
know. Trust
real,
me,
boy.
I know better than anybody. I done been tore up from my ankles up to my neck, man.
Oh hell yeah, we got mosquitoes out the ass out here, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was
yeah.
that was that was a fun ass pod, man. When y'all get through listening to this, go check that out. All major platforms. That shit was just mad fun, man. Mad fun. So it might be the opposite of what this podcast gonna be today, but I don't know where this podcast gonna go. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
It's gonna be a tough one, man. It's gonna be a real tough one.
Oh yeah, but I mean, but at the same time, it's one of those things that I'm used to doing because I know me and Aunt we'll tackle some tough conversations sometimes, man. Because like like the thing about the Stolen Time podcast, it's like yeah, it's a sports podcast, but at the same time, it's kind of like a history podcast as well. You know what I'm saying? We touch on a lot of
Right.
stuff that was that was in the past. So you know what I'm saying? This is kind of my field now. Granted,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard of this situation before. So
Yeah.
so it was kind of like watching something on the fly, not really knowing what was going on. But I mean, but at the same time, within that, like a lot of the riots that happened, it seemed like everything kind of circled around. Like it seemed like it's all the same issue. You know what I mean?
It definitely is. And that's why I was talking to you about off air, man. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so funny, you know what I'm saying, just how this country is. Like anytime we get a situation like this, it's always quote unquote a riot. And then it's always like some kind of mutiny or criminal act or some weird ass language that they use to try to make it seem as if like, you know what I'm saying, that the people who basically was retaliating off of the situation was in the wrong. But for those who don't know what we're talking about, man, we're talking about a movie called The 24th. It came out last year. You know what I'm saying? It's directed by Kevin Wilmot, starring Trey Byers, um, uh, Mike Kelty Williamson. I'm trying to think who else is in this that people might know. It ain't too many big names in the movie, but it's like one of those straight to DVD movies. Basically, it's about the
Mm-hmm.
1917 Houston riot when the 24th U.S. Infantry Regiment basically they had enough of what I'm saying the BS or the bullshit from the Jim Crow South in Houston with the segregation laws and everything else, and they decided to retaliate off of a couple incidents that happened beforehand, and based off of some information that was told to them, and at this point we don't know if it was something that was told to them in truth or something that was what I'm saying that they basically got the jump on, but basically the regiment killed 16 people, including let me see, let me make sure I'm saying this right. It was 16 people that ended up dying, which was 11 civilians, 5 policemen, um, and then I'm sorry, it was 20 people. So 4 people were soldiers, 11 were civilians, 5 were policemen. Um, Sergeant Vita Henry committed suicide. It was over 60 arrests. 19 soldiers was executed after the court martials. I'm sorry, after court martialing, and then 41 were basically sentenced to life. So if you guys don't know anything about this, make sure you research and Google the 1917 Houston riot. It's very interesting. This movie really kind of put some of it in perspective. I think when I watched it, I had, like you said, I had no idea about it. I knew nothing about this, and it shocked me that I didn't know anything about this because my uncle, who is like a military historian, um, he's been in the yeah, he still is in the service. He's been in the service for like almost 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been almost everywhere. He's in the army, so we always talk, and he'll tell me about a whole bunch of things. The only reason I read The Art of War was because of him. He was one of the people who taught me about Shang Tzu. Sun Tzu. So, you know, when I was watching this movie, it was surprising to me that I didn't hear anything about this, and I had sat and asked him about it one day, and he hadn't heard anything about it, which I thought was very interesting. So, I'm assuming that this is just one of those things that people didn't bring up a lot. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those things where I'm assuming people didn't bring it up a lot because, you know, kind of black people got the W on this one. At the time, Woodrow Wilson was the president, and yeah, man, this is interesting, man. This is interesting. What you think about it?
Uh, it's one of those things where you got mixed feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I even going into it, like I could hear like when me and Uncle Washington was on the pod and he mentioned it like twice, and it was just the uncertainty that he had within
Yeah,
himself. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. I mean, if he got uncertainty, I'm probably gonna have it, and I have it as
yeah,
well. And I don't know if I would say necessarily that they got the W.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can see how you say that. But then at the same time, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? How much do a W cost? You know what I
Right,
mean? And
right.
for them, it costs, what I'm saying? Well, basically all of them their life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
41 had to serve, life sentences, and the other 19, you know what I'm saying, got executed. So it's kind of like,
Yeah,
when you see like that's one of those things where like I think people really don't understand. Like I think a lot of people just a phrase that people use a lot that they never really think about. You know how we use legend and go all the time?
yeah,
I think that we use breaking point a lot, and it don't
yeah.
really be like a breaking point. I think that's a phrase that's said a lot when you watch what these soldiers went through, and then when you think about what their intentions supposed to have been, like they were supposed to be going to France. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That was basically I don't know if I want to call it promised, but they was assuming that they was going to be able to fight for their country to go to France.
right.
And some of them not being from the South had to go to the South, but they figured because we're soldiers, we serve in our country, we
Mm-hmm.
deserve respect. But like these people in the South ain't giving them no respect. So,
Right.
for them to end up doing what they're doing is kind of like it's kind of like one of those situations where you you see why they did what they did, because how do you, especially for someone like, okay, when it came to Walker, like Walker was basically hit with, are you gonna serve time, or you can join the army. So he
Yeah.
joined the army just because he didn't want to serve no time. But then, when they go to Boston, like Boston could have, what I'm saying, like they kept trying to give him opportunities to go somewhere because he was so smart. But like he
Mm-hmm.
actually joined to make a difference. So it's kind of like, so you got two people. That's why they had their differences, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, within themselves because of that one thing. And then also, he was light skinned. Like Walker was, pissed off because,
Mm-hmm.
light skinned people, they did get, I guess, the better treatment of, I mean, you still getting treated like a, you know what I'm saying, like a nigga at
Right.
the end. But at the same time, it's like, with them being a little light skinned, he kind of didn't get the blunt of it like
Mm-hmm.
Walker did. So I don't know, man. Like it's this is one of those movies where it's kind of in a gray area. It's it's wild, man. Because like what I'm trying to figure out, and I ask you this: do you think that it was a setup, and like if okay, was it a setup, or was it just the fact that my man, I think it was Big Joe,
Mm-hmm.
just wanted some smoke to happen because wasn't nothing happening. because they wanted to save their one friend who had supposedly that they thought was dead. I think it was
Right.
Davis. So they thought Davis was dead, and they thought Boston was dead.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to seek their revenge, and the one captain dude or sergeant dude or whatever wouldn't let them. And so I believe it was Big Joe. So Big Joe is like, yes. So Big Joe was like, hey, there they go in that direction. Like, do you think he made that shit up or like or what? Like, because I'm still trying to figure out like why did they say they that it was white people in the woods when nobody out there?
I mean, so knowing, okay, so before I say anything, let me preference this with this is all hindsight, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing that I read or anything like that. This is just right at this point we basing everything off the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Knowing what I know of the Jim Crow South, like this is at a point, and we talking about like 1917. So like this is at a
Mm-hmm.
point to where uh you could be laying in bed and you ain't did nothing all day but go work at the what I'm saying, go work at the mill and tend to some horses or whatever, come home and then just got done eating, you done washed up, what I'm saying, clean yourself up, laid down, and what I'm saying, the mob of white people could kick in your door, come drag you out and say that you committed a crime in the town over. You know what I'm saying? So I think at this point, because this is one thing that people have to remember. This is Houston, Texas, in 1917. Knowing what we know about Texas, like Texas was probably one of the most segregated and probably one of the roughest places to be for Black people in the South. As far as like even slave plantations go, like they used to say, like two places you didn't want to go was Louisiana. You didn't want to go to Texas. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, just knowing of, I can just imagine what they, what I'm saying, like with them knowing of the South, and what I'm saying, them actually going through everything that they was going through at the time, like you know, uh, dude getting pistol whipped, and what I'm saying, getting locked up by the police, and they don't see him. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk. The captain or nobody is talking to nobody or nothing. The military ain't in, what I'm saying, communication with, what I'm saying, the police. So, what I'm saying, knowing what we know, they assuming, oh, he got strung up. You know what I'm saying? He probably somewhere hanging. And then when they did the same thing with Boston, you know, Big Joe like, man, damn, they got another one. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget that they just had the situation to where they got into a scrap at the water fountain. I mean, not at the water fountain, but at the, what I'm saying, at the watering hole. So it's like, at what point in time do you get justice? You know what I mean? And then not only that, like this is the U.S. military. This ain't like a local police branch. This is the U.S. military, and they sitting. It's at a point to where they going neck and neck with the local police. You know what I'm saying? Like, so do I think that it was a setup? I don't think it was a setup. I think that me personally, um, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm going strictly off of emotion. Like, I don't think it was a setup at all. I think this was something that was, what I'm saying, like being in that situation, being around the people that they were around in the place that they were in. Um, yeah, I mean, I believe that at some point they did believe that, what I'm saying, those two men were dead and that they had an angry mob coming at them. Now, do I believe that they saw people in the woods? I highly doubt that. Um, but I think that when they're in a position to, go get guns and basically they know how to fight back, they can shoot probably better than anybody on that police force can shoot. You know what I'm saying? They train to shoot and kill. So, you know, at that point, it's like y'all got two of ours. Well, we'll be coming for y'all. And then, once they found out that Boston wasn't dead, and they found out that the other dude wasn't dead, it was like, well, shit, we already in it now. You know what I'm saying? This do or die. And I mean, it's just one of those things, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's one of those things where black people get the W. And what I mean by that is, we hear all of these, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not going to say we, but a lot of us hear, you know what I'm saying, all of these stories of, people getting snatched out of houses in the middle of the night, getting hung, and then, they family members got to come take them down in the, you know what I'm saying, the next day. Or, somebody walking, trying to get out of a certain town because it's a sundown town, and then, you know what I'm saying, they getting beat up and killed and left on the side of the road. Or, they get accused of looking at a white woman, and the next thing you know, the police take them off and haul them off, and then they in jail. Next thing you know, ain't nobody seen them, you know what I'm saying, and they end up dead. Or various different situations, you know what I'm saying? They done burn bodies alive. They done, I mean, it's all kind of atrocities that's done been committed, you know what I'm saying, by black people. So when I say that black people get the W, I mean, this is one of the few times that we know of, and I'm sure it's more than enough, but this is one of the few times that I know of where black people took justice into their own hands. Excuse me, they took black justice into their own hands, and they retaliated, and they did something that made a change. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that when they did what they did, them folks in Houston wasn't treating black people, you know what I'm saying, the same after that. I'm sure they kind of backed the fuck up and was like, yo, we don't want that shit to happen again. Because, you got a whole goddamn, you got a whole fucking cavalry coming through, and, they take out the four soldiers that was coming to break the shit up. Then they take out, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers that just walking out the house trying to figure out what's going on. It's just like shit. And then on top of that, the police pull up. They ain't no, you know what I'm saying, they ain't helping either. So at this point, it's like shit. These motherfuckers do some shit like that again. Ain't no telling how that shit gonna end up. So yeah, I mean it's kind of weird, man. But no, I don't think that it was a setup, and I definitely don't think that it was people coming in the woods. But the way that they showed it in the movie was like it was raining, so they really couldn't see or anything like that. So I mean, I don't know how accurate that was, but yeah, I don't think they seen the mob. I think that if anything, they got the jump on them and was like, "Yo, we gonna beat them," you know what I'm saying, to it before they get to us.
I feel you, and I think the reason why, like, it's definitely a moral victory.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go as far as calling it a straight up W, and this is why, because you put an epiphany in my head, and I was just like, so Boston is one of the first black men to make an arrest on a white man, take him in, and the white man gets
let go.
He gets arrested, but he don't get charged.
Yeah, he get let go.
You know what I'm saying? But he still is like considered like one of the first black men to, you know what I'm saying, to actually take a white man to jail. And so you see the same thing that you see now. Like there is no justice. So, but when they took the justice into their own hands, they all had to serve with their life in different, two different type of ways. So that's why I say it's a moral victory, because, like you said, yeah, maybe that town is gonna think twice about the way they're treating them, but then at the same time, they're so stuck on, like, they could have took it in the opposite approach of like, yo, we're gonna double down to make sure that this don't happen again. And what that also does is the remaining black people that was in that town, some of them probably had to pay for the sins of what they did. So you also got to think about that as well. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, you know what I'm saying, for a modern day example, dudes, a lot of times, they get killed with like child support shit. And it's really because of old previous dudes from like the 80s and 90s and shit that ain't never take care of their kids. And it's like now the government is like, oh, well, we're going to fuck you now. You know what I'm saying? So I think
I
that
kind of disagree with that. The only reason I say that is this. One thing that I know about this country for sure is that anytime that this country was fought back at with brute force, um, retaliation was slow to come. You know what I mean? Like uh, when they did the Boston Tea Party and they threw tea over the into the river and burned down boats, there wasn't really no retaliation. When when they finally defeated England and killed off, you know what I'm saying, the blue coats or the red coats or whatever the fuck the motherfuckers was called to become, you know what I'm saying, their own independent country and be known as America, it really wasn't no retaliation. You know what I'm saying? When you look at any of the wars, I mean, it really ain't no retaliation. And so, you know what I'm saying, they burned down the first ever, you know what I'm saying, capital in Philadelphia, and then they moved that shit to Washington, D.C. So it's like anytime that the power system in this country is met with brute force, there's never retaliation. We just seen it with the insurrection. All them people ran up into the Capitol building, and I mean, what, they got, you know what I'm saying, arrested at the airport, and we ain't heard nothing about it since. So I feel like, especially with black people, knowing the atrocities that's been committed, knowing the history and the suffering that we've been through, I think that once a group retaliates, it's kind of hard to, you know what I'm saying, or once we commit a brutal attack, it's kind of hard to do that retaliation because you you know that you know what's behind all that, right? You know that that's justified. And usually anything that's justified is usually going to overcome everything else. I think that's why, and I know I know I'm about to get off topic real quick, but I think that's why J. Edgar Hoover was so adamant about stopping, you know, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the Panthers and Medgar Evers and, you know, Eldridge Cleaver and all them, because it's a it's like a weird fear that white people have, right? And not all white people, but it's a group of them that have it. Because most white people you meet, they cool. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? They don't be thinking about none of this shit. It's the ones that have that goofy, stupid ass mindset, and it's like they got this weird fear, like that black people are gonna eventually retaliate for all of the wrongs that's been committed in this country, and they really don't understand. Like, bro, we don't. A lot of us really don't give a fuck about that. It's just the fact that if y'all just let us do us and leave us be and give us some peace, you know what I'm saying? That shit is it's like
yeah.
water under the bridge. What's done is done. But then it's like, for some odd reason, they feel like, you know, that they gotta keep a boot on their neck, because if you don't, then, you know what I'm saying, they feel like karma gonna come back around to them in the same manner. And it's like, yo, a lot of us don't even be tripping about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because most people look at it like it happened so long ago, and they don't even realize, like, this is something that only happened, what, almost 100 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, my great grandma was probably, I believe my great grandma was born around this time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about that type of shit, it ain't that far. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that far fetched. It ain't that long ago. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Like, I feel like anytime that there's some kind of brutal force that's used against this system, like, there's really no major retaliation, you know what I'm saying, after that. So I can only imagine how it was with, you know what I'm saying, a small system like Jim Crow.
Yeah. I was just meaning like with that type of situation happen where they would just basically, come, because like you said, 11, I think it was 11 civilians had died.
Yeah.
So that, like, in some cases they was just shooting at houses and shooting at cars, you know what I'm saying, with people that have nothing to do with anything. But then at the same time, it's like they also showed the instance where the cops was just rolling up the street shooting. and a black lady on the porch with her baby, and she's like, "Yo, watch where you shooting. You almost shot my baby." And then he beat the shit out of her, and they took her to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, all right, I don't know if that was by design, because it's kind of like they really did the same shit. So it's like, who's wrong? You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's like, I see what you're saying. I totally agree with what you're saying. But at the same time, it's like this is something that the police would do often. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that black people just was running around doing. They weren't running around just shooting at white people's houses. Like I said, like, you got to remember, like, we talking about the Jim Crow South. We talking about, you know, if a white dude just went up and just started beating up on a black dude and killed him right there in the middle of the street, police stop him and ask him what happened, and he just say, "Oh, he raped my wife," then dude getting away scot-free. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that kind of life that they was living. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine, like, what it was.
Dude, just imagine. No, school. Just imagine you sitting down eating your lunch, and then all of a sudden, a white person just start pissing on you.
That
you know
too.
What I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. But my thing is just like, Emmett Till was what, 1960 something.
60. Let me see, like 62 or 63 or something like that. Because the civil rights movement was in 64, but that was like the kickoff for it.
But that's what I'm saying. So imagine that. That's 62. That's 1962.
Yeah,
so
my mom was born in 60.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what happened to him. He down south, he get pulled out of the house because they said that he whistled at a white woman. He get beat and then shot and then thrown into a river. So imagine just how bad it was in Texas in 1917. You feel what I'm saying? So at the same time, it's like, and that's what I'm saying, like, in these situations, I know we're not supposed to be biased, bro, but I ain't gonna lie, I can't help it. I can't help but to be biased. I can't help but to be emotional. I can't help but to be biased because, you know, it's those moments, like, this is one of those movies to where I look back when things have happened to me like that. Like, you know, never to that extreme, but just the fact that, you know, I was a kid one day and some grown man told me to get my black ass out from in front of his house. Like, I'm a child. He talking to me as if like I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the way that, you know what I'm saying, I look at how this country treats not just our children, and not just our women, but our men. Like, just knowing the fact that, you know, that the FBI created a whole program to basically annihilate why can't I say this? Annihilate. There we go. They basically created a whole program to annihilate and eradicate any remnants of anybody that was standing up for black liberation, or, you know what I'm saying, that was
Basically,
standing
black
against black
advancement.
oppression. You said what?
I said basically black advancement.
Exactly. So knowing that this country has went through everything that they've went through and done everything that they've done to basically keep us at the bottom of the totem, it's like, if when I see stuff like this, like, I don't feel sorry for, you know what I'm saying, white people. Like, I don't, it's hard for me to feel sorry for them, especially in certain situations, because it's like, bro, you've gotten every handout that this country has, you know what I'm saying, has basically given you. And when I say white people, let me take that back. When I let me say people of the power structure. Let me say that instead, right? White people in the power structure, because it is a certain group of white people that don't get that, and it is a certain group of white people who are basically, you know what I'm saying, just as poor as we are. They may not be as oppressed as we are, but they're definitely, you know what I'm saying, oppressed. So, you know what I'm saying, I want to clear that up. But it's like the white people of the power structure, like, when I see anything happen to them, I don't feel sorry for them. Like, you know, like this past weekend, Ted Cruz is leaving to go to Cancun, and the whole fucking north of Texas is fucking frozen. And it's like, when you see shit like that, it's just like, God damn, bro, like, y'all still ain't learned y'all lesson. You just don't get it. Y'all just keep doing whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Y'all just keep doing all this shitty shit. and y'all just don't expect motherfuckers to do nothing. So it's just like, yeah, anytime I see shit like this, you know what I'm saying, especially movies like this, like, in a sense, like, sometimes I even smile a little bit, like, goddamn, it's about time. Because it's like, anytime we see us, we either in slavery or we getting beat up or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't never show us, they don't never show us, you know what I'm saying, as the Black Panthers standing in front of the Capitol building, you know what I'm saying, telling the pigs to fuck off. They don't never show us doing that. But they always make a slave movie every 2 or 3 years. They always make a marching movie where we got to march through every city every 2 or 3 years. But they never show us as the Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? When they show us as the Black Panthers, they show like 2 or 3 minutes of, you know what I'm saying, them doing some type of crime, and then after that, they just talk about how bad they were. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard it's hard for me to give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, and then like even like the way that Colonel Norton was, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying, to a certain degree, like he cared about his guys. You know what I'm
But he was
saying?
still a coward, man.
He was because at the end of the day he ended up, because basically his brother was a higher position, and he was afforded what they would, because they said that he was like the, I don't want to call him the bastard son, but he was more like the one son that wouldn't climb on board. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to leave his squad at first.
Right.
Like he didn't want to, but then I think his father died, and so then like
his father was trying to get him to do it first. Then his brother was the one that started saying the same shit.
Yeah. And so then he ended up actually leaving, and I think that if he wouldn't have left, it probably wouldn't have got that bad. You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with that either, but go ahead.
But what I mean by that bad is like nobody liked that one man. What was that motherfucker?
The asshole.
Captain Lockhart.
Yeah,
or was it Cross?
It was Cross. He was a bitch.
It was Cross. Like nobody liked that motherfucker. Like and that's the thing. Like Norton knew that shit. Like he knew that they wasn't gonna get along. And then he had this thing with Boston the whole damn time. And he had a conversation with Cross, like, yo, like what's your deal? Is it that he's more educated than you are? That you feel that you gotta show that you're more inferior? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like what I meant was when it came down to, if it would have been the situation where Boston, because you remember Boston had got locked up and they was able, but Cross went and got him out.
Yeah,
I think that if Norton would have been there, maybe or maybe not, that shit wouldn't have happened. I mean, there was always going to be racial tension, so yes, right. Like it probably would have happened anyway. But it was like, you want to give him some credit. You know what I'm saying? But then it's because like at first I was like, okay, dude is cool. You know what I'm saying? But then like once he took the job, like he did bow out of that situation, and he knew that he was leaving them in a worse situation that they was. So that was a bitch move. I give you that. That was a bitch move because he did. If he really wanted to show that he was down, he never should have left. You know what I'm saying? He should have stayed with his squad the whole time, because the reason he took the job was because his family was already looking at him one kind of way. And they was like, and to say this, that, dude, you're not going to advance if you keep worrying about, protecting these black people, basically. So it's like they're putting you in a position by saying that if you keep riding with them, you're going to stay where you are, and you're not going to advance in this chain of command. So that right there is another thing that kind of shows you like how this country think and how the people would think as well. That's kind of like the whole nigga lover mentality. Like they will fuck them up just as much. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? As they will
yeah.
fuck up a black person because they like, yo, you rocking with them, you just as worse as them because you a traitor to us.
And that's what I meant when I said, like, you got that group of poor white people that, you know what I'm saying, they not as oppressed as we are, but they still go through oppression. And that's why I rephrased what I said when I meant to say, or when I said that it's white people of the power structure. Like, when you know what I'm saying, you look at that, like, it's been white people throughout history that have always had our back, that have always stuck out their neck, that have always, shed blood next to us and for us. So for me to say that, you know what I'm saying, it's just white people would be remiss. So that's why I changed up what I said. But it's like, I feel like he was a coward from the get go. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't stand up to his father. He couldn't stand up to his brother. When anything happened, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even stand up to the local police force. He was letting his people basically get harassed and abused. Like, I was in ROTC, right? And you know what I'm saying? And they let you know, like, it's all for one for all. And so, um, just being an ROTC, like, if we seen somebody do some shit in the hallway in school and we was around and we didn't try to stop them, we would get in trouble too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would reprimand us as well. And so I know for a fact that in the military, if you the head of the group, the head of the regiment, then everything falls on you. All these men wanted to do, like you said, was go to France and fight for the country during World War One. That's all they wanted to do. They wanted to go fight for their freedom. That's it. That's all. And the fact that the first and foremost, the fact that the government sent a group of all black men in the fucking military down to Houston, Texas, during segregation and Jim Crow was crazy as fuck to begin with. Then, you know what I'm saying, you put this coward on, you know what I'm saying, as a leader who he don't even stand up to, you know what I'm saying, to the sergeant. The sergeant basically doing whatever the fuck he want to do, talking to him how the fuck he want to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? The sheriffs and everything else is doing everything they want to. So at the point, even if he stayed, I think that this would have happened. And to be honest with you, I feel like he'd have been one of the casualties.
he
I mean,
probably would have.
you
He
know what I'm
probably
saying?
would have.
Like, because it gets to the point to where it's like, bro, like, you know we going through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was there when what's the dude that got locked up the first time that they pistol whipped?
Walker.
He was there when Walker got arrested. So you mean to tell me you ain't trying to talk to them to find out where your man at?
No. Davis. That was Davis.
Okay, yeah, with Davis. Like, you ain't trying to go talk to the police to figure out where your man at? You just gonna let him sit in the jail? You ain't investigating nothing. You ain't sending nobody to find out what's going on. You ain't talking to him yourself, no nothing. So when they talking about, oh, Davis is dead because we ain't seen him, yeah, they got every right to think that. Especially when you ain't communicating with them, you ain't telling them nothing, you ain't letting them know. So honestly, if you really think about it, partially this kind of his fault. Because if he did his fucking job and went to go get Davis, we don't have none of this. Maybe
Well, he
this
was
dies
gone.
down.
Well, he was gone when the whole Davis stuff went down.
I thought he was still there.
No. Like he was gone. He was gone before then.
Okay.
Like because remember when they
Because see,
first
I
heard
thought
about
I
that.
thought the Davis thing happened and then he ended up leaving. Because that's when because I thought he left right before Boston. No, I thought he left after Boston. No, he left before Boston got locked up. That's when I
Yes,
thought he.
yes,
That's when I thought he left. But I thought he left after Davis got locked up.
yeah. It was after Boston because remember Boston he did get locked up.
Right.
Um, I think that's what. No, they didn't get arrested for that train situation. They got arrested for
For the fight.
damn. Yeah, they got arrested for the fight.
Yeah.
But that's when he left because when Boston got back, that's when he addressed everybody and told them that Cross was taking over. So he was gone when the Davis shit happened. But something that I wanted to touch on
I thought
was
Davis was first.
no, Davis
No,
was
Davis was first. Remember, because they thought they killed Davis. And then, because remember, Boston seen Davis get pistol whipped. And then That's when Boston got locked up, and they said that's when Big Joe came back and was like they killed Boston.
But remember, no, but you got to remember when Boston, when Captain Norton said that he was leaving and Cross was taking over, and then Cross told Sergeant Hayes to dismiss his friends, to dismiss everybody. Remember, Boston didn't move, and he went to Boston and told him, "Yo, you need to take this one job wherever they was trying to send them. I couldn't remember where they was trying to send them, Kentucky or some shit. No, Du Bois, Idaho. He was trying to send him to Idaho. So remember, he left after that.
Right.
After that. So yeah, he was gone before the whole Davis shit really went down.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm still not taking away from him. Like the thing is, it's like, how far are you willing to go? You know what I'm saying? Like if you really down for us, because that's why I say, like, I always tell people, right, when it come down to this black and white shit, right? Like obvious, like even when it goes to the cops, we all know all cops ain't bad. Like it's common sense.
Right.
And it's just like we know that all white people ain't bad, because when it came to, I mean, like, white people helped us escape slavery. You know what I'm saying? They like, one of the signals was you would have a what you call those things? A lantern in the window. And that showed the slaves that this is a safe house. They would hide them out for the night, feed them, and then tell them, to go to the next location. So we all know that, like, all white people went bad. We all know that there was white people that helped with the marches and all type of shit like that. So like it's common sense. Like we know, like Norton just didn't go all the way. He tried to play the middle. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you,
and to
if
me,
you
I
really
feel like that's even worse.
Yeah, like no, you either you all in or you're not. Exactly. I mean that's what it is. But like something I wanted to get into was when it came to Sergeant Hayes and the relationship that he had with Boston. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling him that he thought he was an actor. You know what I'm saying? But then, like, once everything went down and he actually realized, like, yo, you wasn't the actor, I'm the actor. You know what I'm saying? Because what really got him when Boston told him, like, yo, you the yes sir master, and like you the guy, you the one that holds in all the shit that you want to say. So it was like that part was kind of cool, because it was like he just had this. I think that what he didn't like was that he was educated and he was for the people. And I think that Sergeant Hayes was just kind of like, he kind of is what he want to be, but he didn't have the courage to be it. Like, do you feel that way?
I don't know if I necessarily feel that way. I think it's more so they come from two different places. You know what I'm saying? And this is just something that I noticed being, being a little kid and like noticing certain things, right? And so I noticed, like, even now, the older generation of like black people that I'm around, like, so at work, I noticed that, you know what I'm saying, like the older black dudes, they kind of like, they real cautious of, you know what I'm saying, like our supervisors and shit like that. To where the younger black dudes, they don't give a fuck. They be, you know what I'm saying, like going back and forth for these motherfuckers and everything. And so, like, you know what I'm saying, it's more so just, I think, not just generationally, but also where you kind of come from. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a mixture of that. Like, you know what I'm saying, him being from the north, like he used to, you know what I'm saying, walking up with your chin up, speaking and looking at motherfuckers in the eyes and not having to worry about, even though it was still, you know what I'm saying, racism all throughout the country, it wasn't, blatant racism. It was more covert in the north. In the South, it was just like, shit, we kick your teeth in, we'll give a fuck about you. In the North, it was like, oh, well, we won't kick your teeth in, but you disrespect us, we will poison you. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, where, you know what I'm saying, where Sergeant Hayes was, he was more so like, I'm sure he's seen things happen to where that instilled some type of fear in him. So when you know they would say shit to him, he would have to say yes sir, no sir, like shit like that. Boston didn't have to go through that. Boston didn't have to deal with that because that's not how Boston was raised. That's not what Boston was raised around. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he's seen a different version of black people where he's from compared to where Sergeant Hayes was from. So I mean, I think Sergeant Hayes, yeah, he was definitely, if anything, he was probably jealous of Boston. You know what I'm saying? He probably felt like, you know, this motherfucker just come in here and say do whatever he want, and you know, like, you know, he ain't one of them. You know, he shouldn't be able to talk to them like that. Like, they ain't kill him yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that type shit. Like, and I think when he was saying like the whole light skin thing, I think that was just an excuse. You know what I'm saying? He used that as an excuse because yeah, it's I think it's easier for him to say, "Oh, you only doing that because you light skinned," and they taking it easier on you because you light skinned as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? When the truth of the matter is that, you know, it's not the fact that he light skinned, it's just the fact that you afraid to open your mouth and say some shit, and he not. You know what I'm saying? So I think that when he said that, I think that was him projecting his feelings onto Boston and not necessarily just being honest with himself.
I think that Boston had an agenda the whole time to, I think, I die as a legend. I think.
Yeah.
I think that he knew he wasn't going to live a long life, so I think that he wanted to make his stamp because he made it seem like both of his parents made a stand
Yeah.
with something. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he was like, I'm going to make a stand before I leave this place. And I think that that's what his whole intentions was, whether they was going to France or not. I think that he really wanted to make a name for himself and don't die for nothing. I think he always wanted to die for something, and this is the hill that he died on. So I felt that that was cool. But like, how do you feel about, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be interesting here.
Mm-hmm.
All ears, people, all ears. How do you feel about Lucky, my man, the one person? Because remember, they was locked up for like, oh, what did it say? I think it said 3 or 6 months later or something like that.
Yeah, he
When
broke.
Boston and Norton was talking, and he was trying to tell him like, look, we found your gun that you was with. It wasn't discharged. Will you just come out and say that you didn't do nothing? And so he gave this long speech and just basically said, you know what I'm saying, I'm falling with my guys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, long story short, that he told him somebody's gonna fold,
Yep.
and the person that folded was Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you feel about Lucky and the speech that he gave? You know what I'm saying? While he was up there,
Man, you mean the speech from Boston?
not from Boston, but from Lucky when Lucky was saying when he pointed everybody out, and then he was like, when they come to Boston, he was like, we all looked up to him, like we all
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be Boston. Like when he was saying like all of that type stuff, said that
Yeah.
he was basically the leader of this.
Yeah. I mean, we seen it throughout all accounts in history, man. Bill O'Neill, you know what I'm saying? Same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we can name a bunch of people who've been in those shoes. Um, I mean, it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the Nat Turner movie that Nate Parker did, Birth of a Nation, you know, they would have got, you know, so they would have kept going if it wasn't for that, you know what I'm saying, that one slave who ran off and told on them and snitched on them and, you know, told them about the next attack. You know, Fred Hampton would probably still be alive if it wasn't for William O'Neill. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Martin Luther King would probably still be alive if it wasn't for somebody. You know what I mean? Malcolm X would still be alive if it wasn't for somebody. So it's just like, some people are truly comfortable in the situation that they're in, to where they don't want to, they don't want to be looked at as anything else. And other people are fearful and brainwashed in the situation that they're in. And so, they feel like that there's always this looming sense of failure that's bound to happen if you feel like you got to change the status quo, or if you feel like, you fighting for the good of the people. You always have those few people, or that one person who decides to take down, the empire in the midst of it building up. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that, that happened. I'm not surprised that it was somebody like that even there. Um, the speech that he gave was, I mean, to me, it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, I could see them wanting to be like Boston. I could see them looking up to Boston, because Boston in that movie was fearless. He wasn't afraid of, you know the stories and the myths, and and what they could possibly do to you. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those things to where, it was, liberty or death.
Yeah. And that's what he did. And he chose, and the thing with stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you think that just because you escape that situation,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you escape it mentally. Because I'm pretty sure, like, after he did that, because like he broke down
Mm-hmm.
like on the stand. Like, he knew what he did. He thought that he would be able to escape it. And I'm pretty sure, like, later on in life, even though I think your body was free, but I don't think his spirit was free.
And I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
we also got to remember that this is a movie too. Like, we don't know what the real events, that really went on. Like, I mean, even reading about it is from a secondhand account. You know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't excuse me, we weren't really there to witness, what really happened. So, I mean, it could have been a situation of where, shit, they was waterboarding him, they was beating the shit out of him, and he finally just broke and was like, hey, I give y'all what y'all need. Just leave me the fuck alone. So, I mean, like, we really don't know what, was the cause, what was the cause of it all. And it's just like, you know, you got to really just think back to that time, to where, the movie made it seem a lot more PG-13 than it probably was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to remember, like, this is the time where, like I said, man, we were really looked at as, like the lowest of the low. You know what I'm saying? You can literally get away with killing a black person just with no issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't feel any remorse or nothing like that for him, because, you know, that's one of those things that, what I'm saying, you went along with it. You didn't try to stop him. You know what I'm saying? You didn't refuse to go. So, what I'm saying, you made that decision, man. You got to take that, what I'm saying, you got to take the discipline that come along with it.
Yes, sir. I'm with you, my guy. I'm with you. I am with you, man. It's one of those things that's sad to see, but like, I don't think at the end of the day, like, that you I don't think that, then, like you said, it is a movie and we don't know. I just assume that him being a one guy to really point all them out, and then seeing what their fate was, if I'm not mistaken, 41 got life, 19 killed. Like, I
Yep.
think that, yeah, you looking at it like, okay, I wasn't, one of those, but at the same time, it's like, man, like, is your mind, how's your mindset? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure,
Mm-hmm.
like, he didn't feel like, I mean, I'm gonna go with what I said. I mean, I'm just dragging it out. I think that his body might have been free, but I don't think his mind and spirit was,
I
because I'm
mean,
pretty sure.
look at what happened with William O'Neal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit ate at him. You know what I'm saying? Since the death of Fred Hampton.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He committed suicide in 1990. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that, like, at the age of 17, 18, or 19, however old he was during that time. Um, you know, you basically given the task to, you know, set somebody up to die. And,
Yep.
and not just anybody, somebody who basically is fighting for, what I'm saying, not just their right, but your right as well to, what I'm saying, walk around here and be just as free as everybody else. And you basically, decided to go against that. So I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like, yeah, your body free at the time, but like, yo, mentally you gotta be in hell. You know what I'm saying? To know
Mm.
that you was the one that, what I'm saying, did something like that.
Yes, sir. Yep. It's wild, man. It's wild. I'm ready for them
Yeah.
flames, though, man.
All right, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
All right, man. You go ahead and take the reins on this one, bro.
Okay, okay. Yeah, man. One watch, so I can't be too critical or too high. It was nice to learn the story. I still, like I said, even now, like it's still like a lot of mixed feelings on the
Yeah.
event. But as far as the movie, the way that the movie portrayed it, like you said, there were. I mean, I recognized a few people. One of the dudes, he was the dude from Moonlight. Um, you know what I'm saying? You know, my guy from hell, I really only seen him in Empire. I never really
Mm-hmm.
seen him in anything else.
Right.
And then I remember my man Walker, man, he was in one of my favorite TV shows I used to watch called The Following. He was in that joint.
Okay.
So I mean, I recognize a few people in it, but I think they did pretty good with the cast, and I think everybody did pretty well. Um, but as far as the movie, man, uh, I'm gonna give it, and also I recognize my dude that played Colonel Norris. He played in a lot of shit, but you know, the way I feel about the outcome of the movie is the same way I feel about the rating, man. And I think I'm gonna go right now. It's not a criticism, but I'm gonna go 3.5. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a terrible movie. I'm just in the middle about it, man. I'm in the middle about the
Mm-hmm.
movie, and I'm in the middle about what happened in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. For me, I think the cast fit the movie. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't too many big stars. It wasn't too many people that, that we didn't know as well. So, you know what I'm saying? There was a few we knew. Shout out to McKelty Williamson, you know what I'm saying? AKA Uncle George. That's where I know him from. Um you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody getting no credit tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope your little wee wee fall off. But let me see.
Oh, I forgot
Oh,
about my girl from How to Get Away with Murder, but you didn't like How to Get Away with Murder though.
yeah, I didn't get into it, man. But Tosin Moran Fola, I think that's how you say his name. He was the doctor friend in the black box. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. He was in this joint. Um, Trying to think who else was in it that I know of. I know the what's dude's name? Let me see. Thomas Hayden Church. I seen him in a bunch of things, man. He was the Sandman in Spider-Man 3, so you
Yes,
know what I'm saying?
sir.
Like it had some actors in there, man. The story was all right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't know anything about it, but until I start actually doing the research and everything else on it, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, I see what they did there. You know, you can't really fit everything into a movie, because you only got a certain amount of time to show it, and then it's only an hour and 53 minutes. So, you know, you would think that they could fit everything in 2 hours, but it's still a lot of story to be told. But um, it did bring attention to this moment in history. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I got a chance to learn from. It's something that I got a chance to learn about. So, because of the educational standpoint on it, and you know what I'm saying, like you said, the outcome was a lot less. It was a lot less than I expected, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 4, man. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Cool deal. I ain't mad at it. Ain't mad at it at all. Yeah, like it was like I mean, you know what I'm saying? My man from Empire, you know what I'm saying? He was a producer on this joint. He actually seemed like he wore a lot of hats. You know what I'm saying? He was the main character.
Yeah,
He was a producer on it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's great to see where his headspace is, man, to do a film like this. And the I Am a Man, like that was dope. It was
yeah.
dope, man,
Definitely was, man.
to do in court. So man, this coming soon is gonna be wild, man. We're gonna reveal some shit to the public, man. We
Yeah,
about to
man.
do a little about to switch some things up, man.
That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do something different. We're gonna do something that, what I'm saying, we haven't done yet. I think this is a great start to start doing this on, because it could be something in the future that we end up doing. So, from now on until the end of the season, all of our Friday pods will definitely be recaps of Snowfall. So, what I'm saying, we still gonna give you the same content as far as the, what I'm saying, movies and television goes. We still got a list of movies that we're gonna go down and get to. We haven't forgot about it. So Tuesdays we're gonna be, what I'm saying, viewers anonymous choice, and then Fridays, man, we're gonna talk about that, what I'm saying, recent Snowfall episode that happened. So, this Friday coming up, you know what I'm saying, if y'all got 2 days before we do the episode. Y'all got 2 days before we do the episode. Y'all got Wednesday and Thursday. So if you can watch it, watch it. If not, you already know how we do, man. We giving out spoilers. So don't get on here and be like, man, y'all spoiled the episode. We won't hear none of that. We telling y'all right now. We tell y'all every time we put our intro music up. Don't get on here if you ain't watched the episode, man. Wait to watch the episode, then listen up.
Yes, sir, man. Like this is gonna be awesome, man. And like
Yeah.
I was listening to something. Damn, I hate man. I be listening to so much shit. I be forgetting where I heard shit. And somebody was oh, it was Ebro in the morning, and they was saying to Rosenberg because he hasn't started watching Snowfall yet. And Ebro was saying the
Oh
thing
man.
about Snowfall, he was like, dude, he said Snowfall, it's a movie every episode. It's
Yeah.
so much shit going on. Because I was thinking like, I wonder are we gonna be able to make an hour pod, at least an hour? And it's like, dude, it's a movie every episode.
Yep.
So that's the one dope thing about Snowfall. Snowfall is one of the like, dude, it's one of the most slept on greatest shows on TV, man. And we got a shout
That's a
out and a
fact.
rest in peace, rest in power to John Singleton. I was
Yes,
worried,
sir.
man, when he passed, because I think he passed after the second season, and they had a
Yep.
third season,
Yep.
and the third season was just as good. So,
Yeah.
John, like it was left in great hands. Um, so I think this is going to be really dope, man. I think the people are going to like it. This is the first time we doing something like this.
Yep.
But like you said though, we're giving y'all the regular shit on the Tuesday pod. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the regular shit, but for now on the Fridays, starting this Friday is gonna be episode 1. You know what I'm saying? Then the next Friday is gonna be episode 2. So I think this is gonna be dope, man, because this show, like, dude, it's like for the people that don't know, like this is like, what I'm saying, a breakdown of when crack first hit Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uncle Jerome, he didn't want to get involved with it. Saint ended up getting involved with it. and then he seen the glow up on Saint, and Saint was like
Hey,
I like how they depicted him from the beginning because it was like he was on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Saint was a well known dude in the neighborhood. Never got in any trouble, anything like that.
mm-hmm.
And then like he jumped in head first. Like he didn't even start with the weed. Like I mean he helped them out a little bit with the weed,
Yeah,
but he jumped in with this crack and was just like what hooked up with and I like the evolution of Teddy
mm-hmm.
because I think he really started out as an FBI agent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Undercover. I don't think
yeah.
he's no agent no more, man. I think this motherfucker now involved into a straight up damn smuggler, man.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons I love TV shows that get as good as this does, because you get so much out of it. You get the evolution of characters. You get the evolution of the story. You know what I'm saying? You get so many plot twists. You know what I'm saying? Turns. You know what I'm saying? You fall in love with some characters that you may end up losing. You know what I'm saying? Later on in the season, you never know. Um, I want to see how Franklin handles, you know what I'm saying, this situation after all the heat that he's been put through. You know what I'm saying? He got shot by his girl. You know what I'm saying? He had a killer daddy. You know what I'm saying? His boy was, his right hand man. You know what I'm saying? They kind of got into a tussle here and there, but they good. You know what I'm saying? Like they even brought in the ops. You know what I'm saying on some shit like. So it's very interesting to see. And then not only that, I think that I think it's super interesting seeing how he's so like he not like he not like the proto or the stereotypical prototype, you know what I'm saying, dope boy. Like he really just like a brilliant dude. You know what I'm saying? Like for real,
Hmm.
like this nigga borderline genius, like just the way that he moves, you know what I'm saying, his thought processes, you know what I'm saying, the way that, you know what I'm saying, he sets up situations, how he acts, you know what I'm saying, him dealing with an FBI agent, you know what I'm saying, like that type of shit. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they got coming up this season, man. I'm super excited. I can't wait till tomorrow. You know what I mean? We got some time to watch it, sit and think. You know what I'm saying? Collect some thoughts, and you know what I'm saying? Hit these people in the mouth with a great episode. I'm gonna be excited for this one, man. I know it's
Yes,
good
sir,
because my
man.
mom watched it.
Dude, like hey, well I don't really I know Uncle Washington really likes it. Um
Hmm.
but like what I like about Franklin the most, man, is just like how he handles
Yeah.
himself, how he handles his mom,
Hmm.
how he was able to get his mom and his mom to accept it.
Yeah.
And then just how he was able to, talk his uncle into doing it. And then the biggest thing though, the biggest thing is how he handles Teddy and how he handles Leon and Manboy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Leon and Manboy, them motherfuckers don't like each other at all. And
Yeah.
the greatest scene out of all 3 seasons, dude, the greatest scene of all of them when after Man Boy and Leon got into that little tussle, and him and Leon is riding down the street and he told him to pull over, and this motherfucker got buck on him, like cause he knew he was wrong,
Yeah.
but he didn't he handled his business internally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He didn't
The
he
right way.
he had yeah he had his back in front of Man Boy, but when he pulled off, he was like, "Yo, don't ever do that shit again."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that shit was so dope for somebody to be. I think his character's like 20 or 21 maybe.
Hmm.
For him to think like that at that age, like dude, it is so dope, man. This is a great fucking show. This is gonna be
Yeah.
awesome to do, man. To do a breakdown on every episode, it's gonna be
Yeah.
dope as hell.
It's gonna be fun, man. So y'all stay tuned for that, man. Like I said, Friday we gonna get into it, man. We gonna have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys will be tuned in watching this thing, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you already know we're gonna be live. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all chatting it up, making sure, you know what I'm saying? We need some comments. Start putting some comments up in this thing, man. But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go ahead and head up out of here, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Schools Bronson. On Twitter, Schools Bronson _TV, on Instagram, Schools Bronson TV, on YouTube. Make sure y'all hitting that subscribe button. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. And if this is your first time listening and watching, please subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. And leave us a comment. We would definitely appreciate that too. And you already know, man. Join the Viewers Anonymous Podcast Watch group on Facebook. That is what we need. We've got some new people joined in this past week. Shout out to them. The group is actually growing. You know what I'm saying? From these past few weeks, we've been getting some people that's been sending their requests. We've been getting some people that's been, you know what I'm saying, jumping in, and it's getting there. We slowly growing, man. So make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, add yourselves in. You already know, man, we trying to get up to 100 members before we do anything with the group, but you can always find anything that you need from the group. I'm sorry about the podcast on that page. We always post the YouTube link. We always post the audio link as well. So yeah, man, go to the VA Podcast Watch group on Facebook, and you can get all the information on there.
Yes, sir, man. And like I said, like it was Victor Irby and his brother Mario Irby. Both of them joined 3 in 1 day ago. So I
Yep.
like, man, really
Salute to
appreciate
them.
y'all joining in. My homeboy Jermaine Johnson, you know what I'm saying? He just came in a day ago as well. So appreciate everybody, man, for joining in on the group. And also, you know, so we gonna keep y'all posted. We also gonna post on the group. I'll probably wait till tomorrow and when this episode come out. You know what I'm saying? Post it on my page and the Viewers Anonymous page to let people know, like, Snowfall is coming on. Y'all need to watch it because this is what we doing. So I'm going to give them an alert, man, to let them know what's going down so we don't get backed up on the listens, man. But like I mentioned it earlier, I'm not going to go long on it, man. Please go listen to that last 28 minutes or less podcast that my guy Scoots came on with me. And we just chopped it up and we just had a fun ass fucking podcast. So,
yeah, man, that shit was fun as hell.
go on there. Yeah, man, stories for days. So go check that out. Please go check out the Stolen Time podcast, man. I mean, it's still out there. People are still out there, man. Stolen Time podcast. Me and Uncle Washington, man. You can find the links to everything. Stolen Time podcast page on Instagram. Stolen Time Pod on no, that's on Facebook. Stolen Time Pod is on Instagram. S.Foster 8 Instagram and Twitter. Shit, man. That's all I got. And shout out to everybody. And like I said, we got something special coming up in 2 more episodes. So be on the lookout for that as well, man.
Yes, sir, man. And once again, man, thank y'all for supporting. We definitely appreciate y'all. Look forward to doing some more stuff coming soon. Definitely looking forward to this Friday, man, and tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I think this one that everybody gonna be talking about. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one, bro. We got some stuff lined up, man. But anyway, you already know, man. Like they said in Hollywood, man, it's a wrap.
Cut.